So
Yeah.
how old were you, and at what point did you get busted and actually go to prison?
I was 24 when I got locked up. I was 24 and I had made my $1 million. You know, I'd done I'd achieved what I'd set out to. And I just got popped. I never got caught with any drugs. Actually, I got caught with a bunch of money. I got caught with money. Yeah. It was the people that were shipping my money back from the East Coast. It got picked up by either like a drug sniffing dog, probably in like a sorting facility. And they put a little tracking device in it, and it brought them to me. Yeah, that's simple, right?
I didn't even know the dogs could sniff money.
Oh, dude, it's like one of the main ways that cops go after drug dealers now is their money. Because I could lose all the drugs in the world. I could just go to my guy, my grower, and be like, hey, I need you to front me 50 pieces, right?
Right.
And he can always do that pretty much. But, dude, if I lose $500,000, that's gone. So these guys were not the brightest. Some of these guys they got a little loose at the end. They would send me over packages of 30, 40, 50 grand, and it would just reek of fucking weed smoke. It was like they were smoking blunts as they were counting my money up and like blowing it on the money. I'm like, are you doing this on purpose? Do you want me to go to prison? Are you the fucking feds? I would tell them you gotta wrap my money with the same care that I wrap your dough.
I remember you saying that. You're
Yeah,
like, vacuum seal my cash.
Yeah, you have to. So, but no, the drugs are. Think about how drugs are on money all the time. Coke, weed, everything. So those dogs must have hit on it, and it brought them to me. So, wow. Yeah. That simple. It wasn't a wiretap. It wasn't all these fucking cartel members that I was dealing with in Colombia or the Sinaloans that I was picking up, massive 100-pound orders at a time from in Northern California. It was something as dumb, as simple as them intercepting a package of money. Yeah. But that's how it goes in the game, dude.
How did it go down? Like, what was that day? Like, did they knock on your door?
No. I went down. I had different locations where I would get my money packages sent to. I would get them either FedExed or UPS'd in, right? The next day, like next day air.
Yeah.
And I went to pick up one of the packages at a PO box where I would receive, it was under a fake name, right? But I picked the package up and I walked out and I got in my car and I see these two Suburbans following me and I'm like, oh shit, this is it. So I was like, well, I'm definitely not going home now, right? I'm not going back to where I live now. So I fucking hit it. I took them on a little high-speed chase through the neighborhood. I actually got away. And I talk about this on an episode. I talked to my lawyer. I was going like 90 through school zones, right? I talked to my lawyer. He was like, the reason they didn't follow you, because they kind of backed off when they saw that I was like revving it. I had a Dodge Magnum at the time. That was the hot car in 2010. And that thing, it's got a fucking Hemi. That thing moves.
Yeah.
So that's what the cops drive usually. So I had a better car than the cops. And my lawyer was like, yeah, they didn't give chase because most like local pigs, most local cops don't speed through neighborhoods because if they hit somebody and get killed, that person can sue. They're liable.
Right.
So it's kind of a safety thing. So, if any of you are considering a high-speed chase,
do it through a school zone.
There's a little pro tip. Yeah, be responsible and do it through a school zone. So I was daytime. School wasn't out yet. So yeah, but then I made it back safely. So I parked the car in a tiny little residential area, and it's dark. It's almost dark now. I make it back to my place. I don't have any bills in my name or anything. I've never sold drugs at my place. I don't think anybody knows my parents didn't even know where I lived. Only one person knew where I lived. Okay. Mm-hmm. One person that I dealt with.
Okay.
He was another drug dealer, but I didn't sell drugs to him.
Okay.
I didn't deal with him at all. He was just an old friend from the neighborhood.
Okay.
And he would come over and we would smoke weed every now and then, catch up. So anyways, I get back to my place and I'm like, nobody knows where I live. I should be fine. I didn't see anything. I get into my house, fucking lock the door, get under my covers. I'm fucking shaking. I'm traumatized. I lay my head back to fucking take a nap, and then I just wake up to just pounding on the fucking door. Police, police, police. So I go down there and I'm like, guys, relax, relax. It's just me. There's no guns in here, right? I'm a fucking rich guy. Like, I'm not selling meth. Like, do you know what I mean? So they run up in there, fucking search the place, find some keys to some safe deposit boxes, find a bunch of cash right there. End of the day, I think they must have confiscated like $750,000, $800,000.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Dude.
So that one hurt. But I kept thinking, how the fuck did they know where I lived? My lawyer looked into it later. I gave him the name of this guy, the only person that had ever been to my house. I'm like, he's a drug dealer. There's no way. I didn't sell drugs to him. There's just no way he was involved. And he goes, I think that guy might be ratting, working for the cops, and they're letting him operate on the streets. Right?
Right.
And I looked into it further. I talked to some guys also who knew this kid from the neighborhood, and they were like, yeah, that dude's been caught before, never done a day of jail time. That guy is working for the Portland police. They're letting him sell drugs. And just like the cartel members, just like Mayo fed Chapo to the cops, right? To the fucking feds, Mexican military, this guy had quotas. He would have to feed different guys to, the cops. So to basically to stay out of prison. So,
did they offer you the same deal?
They wanted to get me to snitch right away.
Yeah.
They thought they saw all this money and they were like, oh, you are definitely working with the cartels. There's no question. They were like, give us your suppliers right now. We'll kick you out right now. We won't even put the handcuffs on you.
But what would they do if you're like, oh, okay, my supplier's the fucking in the Medellin cart or in the fucking
the Sinaloa
cartel? Like, what are they gonna do? They can't do
anything. But remember, I'm buying my pot from Sinaloan cartel members that are operating in the U.S. Yeah, that doesn't really happen anymore because weed's basically legal. They stay in Mexico now. But I was buying from a guy in a little town on the border of Northern California. And they had these huge pot grows up in the forest. They would hike on federal land hours away from everything, and they would run irrigation through it. I mean, only Mexican guys have that kind of work ethic to be able to like find enough sunlight and enough water. And I mean, it's amazing. And they would have like, thousands and thousands of plants every year. And so what the cops wanted to do, they would have been like, dude, we'll give you marked money. Right? You can use the money we just found. We could use your money and we'll wire you up. We'll mark the money and you go start making buys for us. Right? Like that's probably how they would have done it. I imagine. Yeah. If I had decided to cooperate, but I'm like, you guys don't have any fucking drugs. Like I'm fighting this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't say, dude, if I was facing 30 years in prison for drugs, I can't sit here with a straight face and say I wouldn't cooperate. Like who fucking knows?
Right.